What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of In the Wild. Today is a special episode for two reasons. One, it's our season finale, which I'm super excited to close out season 6. We have done a bunch of different episodes on so many topics, so feel free to check out all of those things. But for today, we have a very special guest. He is the president of our esteemed university, Dr. Russell Keene. For most of you at this point know, has taken on this new role as president and has been serving the past couple of months. And we finally get to talk to him a little bit about all the things that have happened this past year. A lot has happened, a lot of growth has happened, but I'm also excited to talk to him about what's to come for the university and what's their vision. So I hope y'all guys are ready, because here we go. Welcome, Dr. Keene, to In the Wild. We're so excited to have you here and talk to you a little bit about your first year as our president. Before we get into it, I wanted to, just start off with the investiture ceremony, which is, the official welcoming of you. What did you think of just people from all over coming to celebrate?
It was amazing to have when you look out and you see so many friends and colleagues and family that many were there for a season of my life, but all in the same room. And it was an exciting time for everybody, for the university, but certainly for us and our family and Karen and the kids. It was a real special moment. It really was.
And now that you've had nearly a full year of leading Augusta University, what have been some of your biggest takeaways?
We have a tremendous institution here. And I say that because of the people who make up Augusta University. Our students are amazing. Karen and I have enjoyed getting to know them and meeting as many as we can, but our faculty are so committed, and our researchers in the laboratory and the staff of this place, but the community and the alumni. I think we've got so much potential to be the very best, and my takeaway is that there are just so many opportunities. It's getting the right people in the right seats, building the team, which we've been working on, and then getting after it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And even though you're new to the role, you're not necessarily new to the university. And I was curious, has there been anything that has surprised you as being president?
Oh, the surprises. Let's see. I think what I have enjoyed the most is being able to go at this role side by side with Karen, my wife, and seeing her enjoy it and getting to know the students and the faculty and the staff more, and that's been really fun, a fun part of it. I think the opportunities that we have and kind of opening our eyes to this research building, for example. I mean, that was huge for us to be able to get out and raise that much money and investment locally, and then have our state delegation here and in the Capitol, the governor and the speaker and the lieutenant governor support all of that. And so we got an early win, a big win. And so the role as president, I've been around, Dr. Kill, working with him for 14 years as he served as president, and I saw and learned a lot from him. But until you're actually in the seat and it's on you, it is a different kind of feel to it. But the adrenaline and the synergy that you get from the students, and the faculty, and the staff, and the community who are so excited about supporting this institution and being a part of it, that's been really cool.
I think so too, especially with the research building. I think that's going to be game changing for us as well.
Yeah.
Are there any other moments that make you just really proud?
Being a part of my first commencement, serving in this role, that was an amazing experience. I'd been a part of commencement since I've been in higher education just about, but until you're the president and you're, what a privileged opportunity it is to shake the hand of every student and tell them you're proud of them and congratulations, and to see their initial facial reaction when they come up there. It took me a minute. It takes your breath away, really, when you see, because everybody's got a story.
Yeah.
Some of our students are first generation college students that this is a big deal for their family and a turning point. And so just taking all of that in and the meaning of the day for them and their families was really cool.
Yeah, as now a two-time first-generation college graduate, I think that is a very special moment of being able to walk across the stage and say that you've met and shook hands with the president. I think when I graduated, I actually gave Dr. Keel a hug because at that point I was like, we worked together as SJ president and university president, so I think that is a really special moment. So this year has been, I want to say, like just full of different highlighting moments for the university with you as president. How do you think just the university has grown over the past year?
Well, it's grown, I think, together in the closeness of it. I think having gone through the hurricane and all that did to create havoc in our campus and in our community, we came together, supported one another, and we're still going. We still have faculty and staff who are displaced, but it brought us closer together, and I think that's been a real growth moment for all of us on campus and in the community. I think the messaging around the opportunities we have in the laboratory with the research, as we discussed, have certainly resonated. But what we're trying to do is really focus in on improving every interaction that we have with our students, with our staff, with our faculty, with each other. If we can make every interaction, even if it's someone from the community that just happens on our campus, be one where folks feel respected, they feel like they've arrived at a place that is special, well kept, and we make an impact that maybe they leave here wanting more, and wanting to be involved more. So I think we're doing that, and we're going to get better and better as we progress.
Yeah, that was definitely my one of my biggest first impressions of Augusta University when I first came here as a freshman. That was my first time traveling to Augusta, was for the undergraduate preview day that we had, and I remember seeing campus for the first time, and I was like, oh, this campus is beautiful. But what really shocked me was how welcoming everyone was, from all of the students that I interacted with, the full-time employees, and what really stood out to me, and I still have this back at home, was that I got a handwritten note from some of the RAs and orientation leaders that I had met at undergraduate preview day. It was just like, thank you so much for being here. We can't wait to see you this fall. And it was like all of those small things added up to make me feel like, yeah, this is the right place to be.
Yeah, it really is. It's neat when you see the students coming in with their parents, and they're all kind of taking it all in, and just a welcoming smile. How are you doing? We're glad you're here. It goes a long way for folks, so they feel like they can belong here, and that they would have they'd have their own tribe to be able to get it done and to grow and develop in the classroom and outside the classroom. I think that's important. And as a parent, you got to feel good about having your student attend a university that engages you and says, we're glad you're here. Is there anything we can do to help? And that goes a long way.
And speaking of being a parent, you have two students who are currently in college. Have they been able to like whisper into your ear anything like, hey, you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that as president?
They are they're very vocal to their mother and me, and I think I ask them just as much about what their experiences are like. Do they have a hard time registering for classes? Are they on a wait list? How are you taught by your professors? Or are you taught by teachers' assistants? How do you feel about that? What kind of what portion of your classwork is online? What portion do you have attendance requirements? Things like that, and then even after the class is over, talking about, well, what other services do you take advantage of in terms of getting some extra help in the classroom and things like that? And I've gotten some really good feedback from them. I think at the institutions where they have similar challenges that we do here. But I think all in all, it is that connection from the professor or instructor in the classroom with the students that I think goes a long way in making an impression and feeling a connection. And I've gotten that from them as well. It's been reinforced through their feedback.
I love that. I love that. And I guess just as we continue to grow and improve as a university, what role do you see students, faculty, and I guess staff too, just helping us into this new era?
Well, I think it goes back to really focusing on improving every single interaction. Like not taking anything for granted, even if you can't speak to someone, if you're going to walk by them, just a smile.
Yeah.
How are you doing? If we could develop this speaking culture where folks aren't looking at their devices when they're walking, but they're looking around them, taking in the beauty of the campus, but also the beauty and being able to smile and greet someone that they don't know. Hello, how are you doing? If someone looks lost, can I help you with something? But I think the opportunity that we have is to make this campus truly like no other, to where our students feel engaged, our faculty and staff feel supported and engaged with and heard. That I think this idea of belonging to being a part of Augusta University, that if it's a student who graduates, they want to come back on alumni weekend because they want that nostalgia of how they felt as a student and invested in and cared for. If it's a faculty member who either retires or moves on, that they still connect with us and want to stay involved because they feel like they helped build this place. And if it's a staff member, regardless of what role they're in, they want to participate outside of the normal work hours and be involved in our sporting events and those type things because they just feel the connection, they feel a part of it. And so I think together, if we grow continually together and we try to improve on how we talk to each other, we listen to each other, we respect and honor each other, the best truly is yet to come for this institution. I think we've got some phenomenal people here. And I think we may have some that don't feel quite connected yet, and we can do better, and I think we will.
It's funny that you mentioned Alumni Weekend because you did get to meet some of my friends who are also from Alumni Weekend, and hearing them before they left back to go to their different cities, they were like, as long as the university has Alumni Weekend, we want to come because we had the
awesome.
best time.
Yeah.
And of course, being able to reunite with each other, but they were just all really impressed about how well our alumni team were able to put together such great events for them to come back home and to be proud, and especially for some of them to see how much the health sciences campus has grown, because they were like, yeah, this parking deck was not here. And I'm like, yes, it just opened a few months ago, and oh, we haven't been in this building yet. And so that was such a memorable experience for them.
Yeah, I think the celebration we had of our parking deck, I would put that against any other parking deck opening in the country probably. We were so excited to get that, and Yvonne Turner and her team worked really hard on getting that here. But the alumni weekend and the people that we have putting those events on in philanthropy and alumni engagement and beyond, it's phenomenal. I mean, they're probably just now waking up because they needed to rest from all the work that they put in, because we went from investiture week to straight into alumni weekend, and their hearts are in it, and you can tell it. They care about it, and it just creates this wonderful experience for our alumni to continue to feel engaged and want to come back. So we're going to continue to grow that team and continue to grow the opportunities to engage our alumni.
Yeah, and speaking of engagement, you are deeply connected to Augusta as an Augusta native. And so I was curious, as stepping into this new role, did I guess just your local ties and your history with the or the community kind of affect the way you lead a little bit?
Well, it certainly has. And you mentioned the investiture earlier. It was so special to me to have my first grade teacher, Jackie Wiggins, take part, and my 8th grade teacher, Sandy Woods, take part in providing some remarks. But it was also really cool to have my middle school and high school band directors,
Oh, nice.
Gail and Robert Gerald, played in the quintet, and Stacy Branch, my chorus teacher, direct our choir for the alma mater. And so I did that, the circle of education, the investment that so many people made in me as a young person, from kindergarten through my dissertation committee, was just, it deeply impacted me. And so it absolutely has a lot to do with how I lead and who I am. The community here has invested in me. Growing up, I worked at the Kroger on Columbia Road, and during the holiday season, I worked at Fat Man's on Laney Walker with the Usheries. And I came back 10 years ago, and now serving in this role, it just is, it affects how I view our role in this community and the investment that that all of the students are saying, we're investing in them, and what might they do in the future. And I think when I look at the partnerships and the collaborations we have throughout the community, like the Literacy Center and our partnerships with the local schools and businesses, it's part of what we should be doing. And Augusta University is very much a part of the fabric of this community, and I want to continue to strengthen that and grow that, and partner with as many community organizations and members as we possibly can, because I know that we can grow better and stronger together.
I love that. And for those watching, stay tuned, because we got more with Dr. Keene when we come back. So as we were talking about the investiture earlier, I didn't realize how musical you were growing up. But another thing I was curious about that I wanted to ask you was, when you were growing up, what was your impression of Augusta University at the time?
Oh, I remember sitting on my grandmother's swing. She lived right off of Walton Way Extension, and she'd be rocking in there, and everybody knows now that they called me Rusty growing up, thanks to the chancellor. But she used to say, Rusty, if you get an education, nobody could ever take it from you. And there's this university called Harvard on the Hill. That's what they called Augusta College back then. But I recalled her talking about it, and my dad and my uncles talking about it. And of course, at that time, MCG was it was the entire health sciences. And remember just talking about the phenomenal physicians and doctors over at the medical college. So it's, my impressions growing up were that there was this institution called Harvard on the Hill, and a phenomenal medical college that if you were ever sick or needed medical treatment, that's where you wanted to go.
Mm. And how would you describe your leadership style, and has it evolved any since you've become president?
I think your leadership style of listening and being engaged is one that has, you continue to evolve as a leader. And I don't know that I've got one style that I could say, this is me, but depending on the situation that exists and being able to pivot, sometimes, you can be very collective and get various opinions and then come up with a right path forward. And then other times you have to make a decision and you have to go with it, right or wrong. It's on you. I think each experience that you have as a leader helps you sharpen that better. It has, certainly the role requires a different type of leader, a different type of leadership. And I think being able to bring folks together, to listen, to surround yourself with people who are much smarter and you and have different ideas and perspectives is something that I continue to work on. And I think the hurricane and the way that all happened, it called for a different kind of leadership and maybe a couple of different kinds of leadership during that whole time. But just trying to lead with heart and compassion for people and putting them first, I think is important. It's in times of crisis that you really show who you value and what you value. And having some folks with various opinions on what you should or shouldn't do, we always go back to, let's make it about the people and make it about the mission. And so I think everybody's continuing to evolve in their own leadership styles or strategies. But for me, I want to get as many people involved in the organization to let them know that I see them and that I hear them and I care about them, but that I'll absolutely have their backs. And sometimes we do better than others depending on the situation, but we're going to continue that effort and continue to improve on every interaction. So I think the leadership for me is a series of, it's life. You're growing every day. You're growing.
Amen to that. And what would you say success looks like for the university, say 5 years from now? Like what things would you like to see or
We'll be
have
on
accomplished?
top of everything. We'll be
Okay.
number one. Very competitive.
Okay.
And I want to win and to surround ourselves with people who are hungry to win. I think this institution deserves it. I think our students deserve it. Our faculty deserve it. Our staff and our researchers, this community in our state. People have invested their time, their talents, and their resources into this institution. I want us to win on research, and we've done that. There are very few institutions in the country who have climbed as far as we have in terms of NIH funding. Going from 59 to 74 million has been huge. Going from 74th to 64th in the medical college rankings, huge jump for us. We're winning. And so this research building is going to help us continue to do that. But it's not going to be one and done. We're going to build this building, then we're going to fill it up with some phenomenal researchers, and we're going to renovate the Sanders building. And after we renovate the Sanders building, we're going to build another building. And so that's the research trajectory that we have. So in 5 years, I think we're continuing that mission. We're not going to let up on winning in that way. From a student standpoint, our enrollment has been phenomenal. I mean, going for the last 10 years from 8,333 to 11,584 is huge. Our graduate enrollment has increased exponentially. So I think in 5 years we'll continue, we will have hit the 16,000 students. But more importantly than just hitting that number, that we will have engaged students in a way that our graduation rates have improved significantly, our retention, our engagement, the progression of our students, that we've connected them with careers that they can be wildly successful in. They've got this experiential learning opportunities, and I think that is going to be really remarkable to see. And so this engagement culture is going to help research, student success, and then as we continue to grow, I'd love to see more student housing. I'd love to see more engagement with this community where Augusta, we've created a sense of place on our campuses. And so it's not just Somerville and health sciences, but we've connected the two with a sense of place and a strategy of connecting all of our campuses, Christenberry to Somerville to the health sciences to the cyber and the Riverfront campus. But they're connected in a way where the community is really bought in, and I feel like something special is happening on our campus. I feel it. I feel it with the interactions I have with our faculty, the conversations I have with the staff, and all the engagements with the students. It's starting to come together and mesh really well, and our community is behind us, and so that's really cool. 5 years, we will have not arrived at being the best at everything, but I want us to be the best at a lot.
I think we're going to, well, in a lot of ways, I feel like we're already the best at everything, but people haven't seen it yet. Yeah. And so I guess part of my goal is to help showcase all of the cool things that our university does so we can be seen as the best. Are there any other things that people would be surprised to learn about you that they might be surprised by?
I think if people would be surprised to know about me, I enjoy good humor. I like to make it light when I can. I like to fish. I like to hunt. I enjoy just being outside in nature.
Well, thank you so much for being here and chatting with me. Thank you for all that you have done for our university so far. And I really can't wait to see all the cool things that are on the horizon for us.
Well, thank you. I appreciate everything that you and your team are doing with this podcast. It's really put our university out there and telling our story. I want us to be able to tell our story more and better and more effectively, and you're doing that here, so thank you.
I appreciate it. All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed that episode. I certainly did, of talking with Dr. Keene. The future of Jack Nation is bold and bright, and I'm excited to have him as our president. This has been a super tremendous season. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I cannot wait for more stories, more guests, more wildness for next season, because we will be back for season 7. So until then, Jack Nation, I will see y'all later. Go Jags!